friend, god brother, and more like a teacher to me than a friend. His Grace Mukharvind Prabhu. So I'm in near the Iskcon Silicon Valley Temple. Prabhu is a dear disciple of His Grace Visheshika Prabhu, and I met him. I got the good fortune to meet him in Festival of Holy Name about 5-6 years back, or more, like 7 years back, 2015. And since then, yeah, it was inspired me in many ways. He and his good wife, Ananga Gopika Mataji, live here near San Jose, and they have a wonderful daughter, Ramani, who is also a great inspiration to me. Especially, I was very inspired by how she was offering Arati. It's with so much love, devotion, and absorption. And all that goes to the parents and the community, and of course, His Grace Visheshika Prabhu for inspiring the whole community and the world at large. So Prabhu is only available for some time, but I thought if even he could read a verse or two and share some insights, we will be very blessed and grateful. So I welcome you all today, Baldev Prabhu, Shuruma Mataji, and Pragya Mataji, and Nimisha, good friend of Shurumaji, for joining. So let's welcome His Grace Mukharvind Prabhu from our hearts by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ram Hare.
So I'm going to pull up the verse, and he's going to take 1 or 2 verses, and then if you have any questions also, you can feel free to ask. Just Nimishaji, you're joining for the first time. Just to give a context, we are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter 27, and we read a few verses every day. Today we are going to read text number 15. You may have heard this story multiple times, Indra, the Govardhan Leela pastime, how Kṛṣṇa lifted Govardhan. So this is that pastime is going on. So I request Prabhu to please enlighten us.
Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva, Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jaya Mudiraye, Nashtapraye Swabhadresu, Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtake. Krishna, that is so kind of you, Subhila's going through. I'm just happy to be here in your service, and what better than that can be to read and hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam together. For some of you, I think it's new. In the beginning, I was doing the prayers. The first prayer was to addressing to the spiritual master who has opened our eyes, like from the darkness. Definitely there is a, and what is that darkness? Is ignorance. The ignorance that is the greatest disease in this world is ignorance, ignoring the oneself. And the spiritual master is the one, or the guru, who comes and gives us the knowledge, torchlight of knowledge, and open our eyes. So we all know how much important is light in this world. But this spiritual light is also we can understand through that. So we pray to the spiritual master, because this knowledge has been passed down from many generations. It's not our knowledge, it's the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam we are reading, which is given by Srila Vyasadeva, who has written, and is compared to the Nigam Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam Sukhamukad Dravyam Amritam Dravya Samritam. So it says like how this is the like ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. There are so many Vedic literatures, as we know. Many of us are from Indian background. We have 18 Puranas, we have 4 Vedas, we have 108 Upanishads, and it's a vast variety of the literatures that encompasses our Vedic knowledge. And out of that, this Bhagavatam is considered the essence of all that. So, so you can congratulate all of you yourself that we are going to read today the Bhagavatam, and there's so many glories of Bhagavatam. And after that, I had specific two prayers to the Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Iskcon, who is the one started this movement in 1965 and given this translation purport and of the Bhagavatam's major cantos. So he's representing a Guru Parampara through that is the chain of disciplic success and unbroken disciplic success, and that stems from the Kṛṣṇa himself. And that's why this knowledge is so different than any other that we are reading or we will go through, because this has been passed down, carefully preserved from one generation to another generation. It's not just, it's not something that has been just is in someone's mind or brain they have speculated and created. So that's why we can put trust. You may ask why I should read and hear, I can make my own, but that's why it's a difference. So we are giving that credit to him, and then at last, then we did prayers to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is in the 500 years back he came in. He born in India and he spread the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam to each and everyone. So we are acknowledging our gratitude to him for opening this thing. Who am I? If I just consider myself, I'm nowhere to even see or touch this greatest literature, Bhagavatam. I'm not born in some Brahminical family or some aristocratic who has the knowledge, but just by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came and who given access to this books, this knowledge, Hare Krishna Mahamantra to everyone, because he saw that there is a downfall in the character in the society in large, that though people in the name of Brahminical, they are not following the Brahminical culture, and then he saw that actual is by the karma, which what Bhagavad Gita says, that by the karma we become actual Brahman or Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So basically, let's and then last Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that was the small introduction. As I believe some few new people, Nimisha Mataji. So let's go on and. So yeah, we are in the text 15. How do? We read the Sanskrit or we read the
verse, translation, purpose, and then you can elaborate.
I see. So so okay, let me just in the how much time is the class here total? Half an hour, 1 hour?
Yeah, we do 1 hour, but
okay,
we
so
cover multiple verses, so depends on the purport.
Yeah. Okay, because I just don't want like people to bereft of hearing from you, and just I want definitely I want to give I'll just take a few minutes. So let's read this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mayate Akari Mayate Akari Maghavan Makabhango Anugrihnita Mad Anusmrit Nityaṁ Mattasya Indra Shriya Brisham. Synonyms for translation.
We do the translation, but up to you.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Indra, it was out of mercy that I stopped the sacrifice meant for you. You were greatly intoxicated by your opulence as King of Heaven, and I wanted you to always remember me." So, purport by the servants of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, as you might be knowing, this 10th canto, like primarily, majorly has been translated by the disciple of Prabhupada, as he has left this planet till the time he reached to the 10th canto. So, purport: according to Sridhar Swami, Indra and Lord Kṛṣṇa here exchange a heart-to-heart talk. Indra revealed his mind to the Lord, and now Lord Kṛṣṇa similarly reveals his own intention. In text 11 of this chapter, Indra emphatically declared that Lord Kṛṣṇa is in fact everything, And thus, according to Indra's own criteria, forgetting Lord Kṛṣṇa is clearly a state of insanity. When the Supreme Lord reminds us of his supreme existence, he is not proudly advertising himself like a mundane politician or entertainer. The Lord is self-satisfied in his own infinite existence, and it is trying lovingly to bring us back to our own perfect existence as his eternal associate. From God's point of view, even the mighty king of heaven, Indra, is a mere child, and a naughty child at that. And thus the Lord, being a caring father, punishes his child and brought him back to the sanity of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So, wow, it's amazing. We can see that it's a heart-to-heart talk happening between Indra and Kṛṣṇa. How many times we get that opportunity to hear that heart-to-heart talk between even a normal person, and what to speak about that Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are getting access to his talk with his dear servant Indra. And we can see that how at the end Prabhupada says that how a father care for his son or daughter, and then they and teaches him or corrects him. Similarly here, Kṛṣṇa was so merciful on Indra that he told that it is out of mercy that he stopped the sacrifice meant for Indra. It is not that one may also think that from the previous chapter and think that, oh no, it's like it's the arrogance from the Kṛṣṇa's point of view that he wanted to show his supremacy, that he is wanted to just show to the whole world that he is the God. Definitely that might be taken as one of the interpretation, but here we can clearly say that he is telling that his main intention was to save the Indra from his false pride, because he was getting intoxicated as a king of heaven, and he wanted to give benefit to him, that so that he remembers Kṛṣṇa, he remembers the God, and he does not get carried away by being like so-called king in this material world. So this was the great mercy that Kṛṣṇa was showing to Indra. So that's why it's very important to hear and learn from this text the purports from the authorized disciplic succession, because as I was telling, that interpretation can be taken in many ways, but when we take from an acharya succession and then we follow the whole thread, we get the correct understanding. So yeah, in short, like we can also see that many of us go through the tough time in our life. At that time, it might be very difficult to find out what is the plan of the God at that time, to why I'm going through, why it's like that these things are happening to me or only to me. But when we as like Steve Jobs says, like it's very difficult to connect the dot forward, but it's easy to connect the dots backward. Sorry, we can only connect the dot backwards, not the forward. So when we see that everything is arranged properly and perfectly by the will of Kṛṣṇa, and that's what is the very famous verse in the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 8 says that when Kṛṣṇa is giving the teachings to the Brahma, he says that attain ukampa susumikshmano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam hidvak vapurbhir vidadham namaste jiveta yo mukti pade sadaya bhav. So he gives a very, very important instruction, Lord Kṛṣṇa, to Brahma. There were similar incidents happen when Brahma was trying to steal it is in the 13th and 12th chapter, when he's trying to steal the calves and cows of the Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa and the friends, and he stole them away. And because he was he was also thinking, who is this small boy, and he was kind of fed up. He's having the makhan in his hand, and he's just like dressing like ordinary person. So he was trying to challenge his authority, and then at last, when Kṛṣṇa showed him that Kṛṣṇa also helped, I'll say the word helps. Kṛṣṇa is helping in different way to get down from his intoxication and help Brahma to understand, realize. And then this verse is spoken by Brahma as a prayer, that tattenu kampa susamikshmano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam, that is your causeless mercy. Like when we go through our life with whatever trials, tribulations, or or even sometimes even happiness. It's not just the sadness, even the happiness, I'll say. Sometimes it's just not the sad part that the tribulation. Sometimes happy itself is a big thing to help. Big thing to control, because sometimes people get happy and then they get into another zone that they're not able to have their. That's why there's a famous verse in Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter where Kṛṣṇa says that that we should tolerate the both happiness and distress. What is that verse? Yes. Sukha dukkha, sitoshna sukha dukkha. So he says that not only just you should tolerate the dukh, but you should also you should learn to tolerate the sukh. You should know how to have the, because sukh can also make, that's what can make you pride, arrogance and whatnot. That all that the bad qualities can develop. So anyway, so in short, Brahmaji was saying that if we can go on our lives, whatever we are facing through, and always remember Kṛṣṇa and think that whatever I am getting is just it. Like this is more in context of if I'm going through some tough time or rough patch, it is just is mercy, or is a token. I was deserving much more due to my past karma, but then Kṛṣṇa has helped me to reduce it to a very, very minimal extent, and I'm just getting a token of what I should have got more. And when we have this consciousness throughout our life, Jive tayo mukti pade sadabhayak. So he says that again, Sridhar Swami says in the purport that what a rich man of a person has to do. Like suppose a rich man's son is there. Sorry, a rich man's son is there. If he has to inherit the property, what he has to do? Can anyone answer? What a rich man's son has to do?
He has to stay as a son and obedient son to the father.
Yeah, he has to say obedient son, or at least he has to be alive. What Sridhar Swami says that he has to just be alive to be to inherit the property. Similarly, we all are sons of God, Kṛṣṇa, and we have to be alive in our Kṛṣṇa consciousness by discussing and by hearing Kṛṣṇa Katha, like how His Grace Vilas Govind Prabhu is giving all of us this opportunity in this Zoom to come and hear and learn. If you're just alive, whatever way our life is going through, by rough patch, up, down, whatever, but somehow we are in touch with this vibration of the supreme vibration of the Bhagavatam, we will see that we will be alive. So because alive is like kind of sometimes it's not just the bodily is alive. And that's what Bhagavatam in the 2nd canto asks very question, like he says, like even the smith man's blow, it is also blowing the air. But does that mean that it is alive? No, it just by blowing the air, it's not the symptoms of that. Similarly, we might be alive just our body is like breathing and all, but the actual alive is like when we are spiritually alive, when we have the spiritual consciousness in our life. So that's why it's very important to alive and just be alive. That's fine, whatever is going through in our life. And then if you're alive in spiritual consciousness, we will inherit the kingdom of God. That's what that verse says. So that is a small reflection from my side. If Prabhu has to add, please add something.
Wonderful, thank you. I really like how you connected to the Canto 14, text 8 of Lord Brahma. It's so here Lord Kṛṣṇa is himself saying that this is my mercy. And I was thinking like Indra was having yajna, like sacrifices to him. And sacrifice to us could be job, right? We get something out of it. We get maybe name, fame, or anything. Some people may give us respect, some people may give us something. And if that stopped, how do I feel? But Lord Kṛṣṇa is saying that actually it's my mercy for your good that I stopped it. So I really like how you connected it to that ups and downs in life, and how we should be patient and grateful. Like it is Kṛṣṇa's mercy. It is really Kṛṣṇa's mercy, because if he would have continued that Govardhan offering, or that Indra Puja would have continued, apparently Indra would have short-term good he would have felt, right? Oh, the offering is going on, everything is going as per my plan. But long-term he is the mission that it would have made him to forget Kṛṣṇa, right? But Krishna always wants us to remember him. So, like how you said, connecting the dots back. And if Krishna feels this is good, then even though we may not understand as a tiny child, but having that faith. Thank you. Really. If any other Vaishnavas have any thoughts, comments, questions, feel free. Please ask your questions if you have. It's a great opportunity for us to get Vaishnava Sangha. Any reflections or thoughts or comments or questions, please feel free to share. Nimishaji, you have joined for the first time. Are you able to connect, and is it making some sense?
Yes. So I was listening most of the time, but when you were telling about the Canto 10, but I missed which chapter. Like I missed which chapter you were reading.
Sure.
Because at that time voice got broken.
It's chapter 27. We will share the link.
Chapter 27.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
share the link. And also, if you would like to get the book, the hard copy, we can also arrange that delivered to your home also. Maybe you can.
Okay. So I have a Canto 1, and so I'm reading that one right now. So, but I do not have the other part of Cantos, but I will receive it soon. Like Mataji's, one of my friend Mataji from Iskcon, she ordered for me. So I will receive soon.
Wonderful.
Jai, very nice. Great. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. But I really like joining this one as well.
Nice. Thank you.
Which part of the US you live?
I'm in Maryland, Rockville, Maryland. So Iskcon of DC is closer to me, like Potomac.
Wonderful. Very soon they are having a new temple opening, right? In a few weeks. Are you aware of that? They're having a new temple opening in just a few weeks. There's a new temple that's been built, and it's going to open in just a few weeks from now. The Potomac. Can you hear me? Okay. Good. You want to take more? We'll continue. Okay. So Prabhu has other services, but we are very grateful for the 30 minutes Prabhu spent with us and shared so much. Thank you.
No, thank you to all of you for giving me this opportunity to just have a association of devotees, and the best way to associate is hear and chant Bhagavatam. So I'm the one who will lose. So thank you. Please continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Kṛṣṇa ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so we will go to the next verse, which is text number 16. And of course, heart-to-heart talk also here is mentioned, as Prabhu emphasized. So we should have heart-to-heart talk also with our superiors, with our guru. Here Krishna is the spiritual master. Indra has taken shelter, and heart-to-heart talks must happen. That means we completely open up, right? Like how we open up to a doctor and tell our problems very clearly. We should not hide from the doctor. Similarly, if we need some advice about some legal matter, we tell everything clearly to the lawyer, right? Similarly, if we want spiritual advice, we should tell clearly, because spiritual doctor or guru will help us, we should not hide things. Let's read text number 16. Mameshwarya Śrīmad-ando Dandapanim na pashyati tam brahmasyami sampadbhyo yasya chechayam anugriham. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Avicharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. A man blinded by intoxication with his power and opulence cannot see me nearby with the rod cannot see me nearby with the rod of punishment in my hand. If I desire his welfare, I drag him down from his materially fortunate position. Purport: one may argue God should desire everyone's real welfare. Therefore, why should Lord Kṛṣṇa state in this verse that he removes the intoxicating opulence of one who is about to receive his mercy, rather than simply stating that he will remove everyone's opulence and bless everyone? On the other hand, we may point out that irrevocable death occurs for everyone, and thus Lord Kṛṣṇa does take away everyone's opulence and everyone's false pride. However, if we apply the Lord's statements to the events within one's immediate life before death, we may refer to Kṛṣṇa's statement in the Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamiham. As people surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. Lord Kṛṣṇa desires everyone's welfare. But when he says here, yasya chami anugriham, for one whose welfare I desire, it is understood that Lord Kṛṣṇa refers to those who, by their own activities and thoughts, have manifested a desire to achieve spiritual benefit. Lord Kṛṣṇa wants everyone to be happy in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, but when he sees that a specific person also desires spiritual happiness, the Lord especially desires it for that person. This is a natural act of reciprocation, consistent with the Lord's statements, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I am equal in my attitude to all living beings, Bhagavad Gita 9.29. Another beautiful verse, and these are the words of the Supreme Lord. Shukdev Goswami is mentioning that this is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, as we saw in text number 9. Text 15, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Lord continues. This could be a little heavy for sometimes, especially for new people. Or why is the Lord taking? He's called Hari, right? Hari means one who steals. He steals butter. He steals so many things. But he is known to steal actually the abhadra. He's known to steal the impurities of the surrender. Padashritanam cha samasta charam. He steals away the sins also. As we read in the Bhagavad Gita, those who take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Sarvdharman parityajya mamikam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami. I'll forgive you from all the sins. So if, like a genuine father, let's say a genuine father, a loving, caring father, if they give him something, or if they see that the child has good intelligence, right? The child is bright, the child has good intelligence, or but that intelligence is making him or her proud, then the father will certainly do something to bring down that pride. Because intelligence is supposed to make one humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. Similarly, here, Indra is a very nice devotee. Indra is one who wants to remember Kṛṣṇa. So, a man blinded by intoxication with this power or opulence cannot see me. If I desire his real welfare, I drag him from his materially fortunate position. So because that pride, right, that pride, that wealth, that opulence, that beauty, that knowledge, what is the use of that if it makes us go away from Kṛṣṇa? Is it of any good use, right? There are 4 kinds of blind people. Nevam pashyati janmandha, kam andha nevan pashyati, arti dosham na pashyati, madon matta na pashyati. These days we see people are blinded. It could be blindness due to birth. It could be blindness due to wealth, right? By hook or crook, people want money, right? Baap bada na bhaiya, sabse bada rupaiya. People are fighting, brothers are killing each other, people are fighting over money. We saw so many episodes, the news are full of that. What is the use of that money, which takes us away from our friends, family, and ultimately the Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa? What is the use of that name, fame, position, power, prestige if it takes us away from Kṛṣṇa? We are not against all this job, family, all these things, but all this is should help us to remember Kṛṣṇa. Otherwise, it's like it's going to take us away, and that Kṛṣṇa does not like. So Kṛṣṇa may temporarily take it away, right? Like he took in this case, he took the Indra Puja, and Indra was like blown away, right? Why? How dare this little child, the people here to this little child who is just a talkative little boy, right? He doesn't know what he's doing. I know better, right? So, but it's Kṛṣṇa's love towards his devotees. It's Kṛṣṇa's love. We have discussed this many times. If Kṛṣṇa actually, if the father does not correct the child, that means the father doesn't care. Yeah, I don't care. Like, it's like if a distant neighbor, or like you see some Tom, Dick, Harry's child in the neighborhood is speaking bad words in the park, what will you do? I don't care. I'll just get home, right? You'll mind your own business, because you don't, even though you may have a good heart, but how will he perceive? How will his father perceive? I don't want, okay, I'll just, you'll get home, right? Most people will do that, right? That means although we desire everyone's, welfare, but still we may not intervene, correct? But if it's someone, your student, your own child, then you certainly want to intervene in that situation, is it not? Right? Or your close friends, son, daughter, because you really care, right? Kṛṣṇa really cares for his devotee. And Kṛṣṇa cares to the proportion we approach him. As mentioned in 9, he's equal to all, but those who take shelter of him, he has special mercy. 929 and 411, same theme. The theme is that Yethamam, as we approach, he will reciprocate accordingly. If we just remain as a neutral party, God will also remain a neutral party. If we approach him once in a blue moon, right, on Janmashtami, or Kṛṣṇa, I remember you, he will also remember us accordingly, right? So in short, Lord wants everyone to be happy, correct? As we discussed, we want pure devotees. Kṛṣṇa wants everyone. But when he sees that a specific person also desires spiritual happiness, then Lord does some special arrangement. When we endeavor more, that we desire spiritual happiness. Krishna, I don't want temporary material happiness. I know it's just so-called flickering pleasure. It's not real happiness. It's just called prayers. It's not going to give me real happiness, right? Then someone may ask, okay, then why doesn't Krishna reduce the pride of all the people with puffed up with false ego? Then the answer is yes, right? Then death occurs. What is death? Death is a blow to everyone's false pride, is it not? Who wants to die? No one wants to die. But the false pride is crushed because no one plans to die. I was hearing a class recently. 72% of the people die without will. Without will, right? What does that mean? What is your takeaway from that? Like 3/4 of the people, let's say 75%. That's a big percentage, right? That die without a will.
Because they think they'll live millions of years and they can enjoy their money.
Yes, because, oh, death. Oh, yeah, I'll die, but maybe 50 years later. Right? Oh, death. Oh, it happened to my neighbor. It happened to my father, grandfather. But me, I'm a very healthy person. How can things go wrong with me? Right? So 75% of the people think like that. Or actually everyone, but those who may even have a will, they just maybe say, okay, better than the government taking or some thieves taking, better my children take, right? As you're talking in the last verse. So in short, it's certainly a blow to the false ego. It is a big blow. So better we remember Krishna for our own good. For our own good. And if we try one step, Krishna will come 100 steps. The month of Kartik is coming. Today is Ekadashi, Madhava Tithi Bhakti Janani. Especially on these days, if we take to Krishna consciousness, we should take it daily, but these days are more special. The month of Kartik is coming in just a few days, 29th, it begins. It's a very special month to offer lambs to Krishna, Lord Damodar, to remember Krishna, to hear about him. It's a special mercy, and if we take special interest in the Lord will take 1,000,000 times special interest in us. And if we knowingly, unknowingly get distracted also like Indra, he will arrange through Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, he will arrange because he loves us. God loves us, Krishna loves us. He'll not let us get distracted. Krishna says that once someone begins this path, I will drag him back home, back to Godhead. Even once tries to leave, no, you can't go. Right? This is Krishna's love. This is his kindness, actually. Only what he was asking, is God's kindness not his opulence? Absolutely it is. His opulence is unlimited. And he loves his devotee, millions and millions of times more than Prabhupada writes this in the Dhruv Maharaj story. Krishna's love for his child, like all of us, is millions of times more than any human mother would love their child. We all know how mother loves their children, right? So Krishna's love is combined, just to give some understanding. Of course, it's infinite more, but just to give understanding that millions of mothers put together. So any other thoughts? Anyone wants to add or share here?
So Prabhuji, this line, like when Lord Krishna wants everyone to be happy in Krishna consciousness, but when he sees that a specific person also desires spiritual happiness, so is Krishna consciousness is equivalent to spiritual happiness?
Yes, that is correct.
So in that case,
yeah, so we can also read like when he sees that the specific person also desires Krishna consciousness, right? Or spiritual happiness is basically they're like searching. They may not know what they may be like seeking for that, right? Maybe inquisitive. I'm I thought my job will give me happiness. I thought my wife and husband and daughter and son and grandfather, this family will give. I thought I'll buy a new home and that will give me real happiness. But it did not. So one may come to this conclusion that I'm looking for something higher. And then God will arrange, like how exactly Dhruva Maharaj's story. He was looking for something higher. He was looking for something bigger. And Lord sent a guru. So the Lord will take special interest in that person. And eventually that will fructify, or that will culminate in Krishna consciousness, because that is real spiritual happiness, or also called Premananda, the topmost happiness, love of God. Because connecting to the source of all happiness, Sachidananda Vigraha, is a source of happiness. Because I was hearing this morning, a class by His Grace by Shashika Prabhu. He said, material world is equal to all pain, no gain. Right? All pain, no gain. Or too much risk and very little so-called enjoyment. Too much hard work and almost zero happiness. That's material world, is it not? Right? One has to work hard so much, right, Prabhu? You were sharing something, sorry.
Yeah, 12 months of work, 1 month of vacation only.
Yeah, and back to grind again. Then people may feel, oh, I got a new house, so-called happiness, or a new car, but then pay the mortgage for 30 years. And every month it will be reminded, right? Even cooking, right? One may feel, oh, I want to eat nice thing. 2 hours preparation before, 2 hours post cleanup, and 5 minutes of eating. Is it not? And for that 5 minutes also, you have to work hard, get the ingredients and supplies and this and that. Same with, like, let's say children, oh, I want to get the first grade or bike or this, that momentarily. So basically, one should invest more in spiritual happiness. That's the idea. Because that, no pain or there is no risk, as Kṛṣṇa says. Even little progress on this path can save one from the greatest dangers. In material life, lot of progress will not even give tiny result. Klesha sara alpa, klesha bhuri alpa sarani. Klesha bhuri, like klesha, it's lot of, it comes in the Bhagavatam. Klesha bhuri alpa sarani. The fruit is very little. But in spiritual life, it's opposite. Even little progress, unlimited spiritual happiness. What to speak if we make too much spiritual progress, then we will get too much happiness, right? Or Kṛṣṇa will personally take interest. That's the point here. The Lord personally takes interest. Oh, this devotee is taking this bhakti seriously. I will protect what he has, and I'll preserve what he has and provide what he lacks. So he will help us to stay on track if we are sincere. If we develop some qualities which are not conducive for bhakti, he will arrange something to humble us down for our own good. All the arrangements the Lord makes is tailor-made, right? Tailor-made. It's not like one size fits all. All the situations the Lord is sent, whether it's our husband, it's our wife, it's our children, it's the circumstances, the weather we are, the job we in, for a devotee, everything Kṛṣṇa orchestrates very, very finely, tailor-made, so that we can remember him more. In one devotee said in Hindi, Paristhiti ko nahi, manosthiti ko badlo. We all want to change our situation, paristhiti, circumstances. But all we need to change is work on the manosthiti, or the man ki sthiti, the situation of the mind or the heart. That is basically internal, right? The same person could be very happy, like like 100 people will respond differently to the same situation, correct? Let's say if it's the weather is warm, 100 people may react to it differently. One sees a beautiful rose, 100 people will see it indifferently. So all we need to do is change our consciousness from matter to spirit, from material happiness to spiritual happiness. That's what Kṛṣṇa is saying here, for our own good. Any thoughts, comments, anyone wants to add further or questions?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Just one thing, while you're talking through, especially the last one was very good, about the situation, but about our behavior to change, right? That's very nice, very short and sweet and very impactful thing. When you're saying that, it's like, I kind of surprised with 75% of the people gave the stat of 75% die without their will. It's like, technically nobody has control on, has a control on what happens next moment, but still people like me try to have more control on situations and, you know, all business terminologies, we talk about it. But in spiritual life, it is more, we kind of rely more on Govinda saying, it just, we just want to act according, or create a situation how we want to go forward in a spiritual life, is what kind of taught me, Prabhuji, like kind of when you're explaining that. And also we have to little bit do our part, in the sense like we have to take one step forward, so that it's kind of against the Maya, and definitely he will be there for us to take it forward, and he'll create the situations and circumstances where we can succeed. Is what I was just came to my mind. I want to share that. Please correct me if I will, or add more, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Very thoughtful comments, Prabhu. Thank you. You're very sincere and reflecting upon this. Very nice. So a devotee does not aspire for so-called material happiness, right? This may sound a little heavy, but that's not our goal. If it takes us away from Kṛṣṇa, right? All the great acharyas are praying that, right? That I don't like the Damodar month is coming. Satyavrat Muni is also saying, I do not want big kingdom or anything. I just want your association. I want that remembrance of that pastime. Kola Vijay Sridhar, or yesterday we're talking of Ritrasur. Nanaka Prishtam Nacha Paramishtam Na Sarva Bhaumam Nachara Sadhipatyam. Right? I only want your service. I don't want to be separated for even for a moment, because a moment of separation from you is like millions of years. Another beautiful verse, very, very high mood here. Let's read this in Caitanya Caritāmṛta, Antya 20.52. Let's see if Vaswati Mataji is there. Want to read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Na jani, sorry,
This is the Bengali version.
Nagoni apono dukho shobe banchi taro sukho amaro tat parayo more jodi dio dukho taro hoilo moha sukho shei dukho mora sukho bhare. Translation, then purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. I do not mind my personal distress. I only wish for the happiness of Kṛṣṇa. For his happiness, is the goal of my life. However, if he feels great happiness in giving me distress, that distress is the best of my happiness.
Haribo. Let's read this is a small purport. Maybe someone can read the purport. Yes. Nimisha, do you want to read this? If you're in a position.
So today
Shri
I
Mataji,
am
you
not
want to
able
read?
to read. Hello?
Sure.
Yes, sorry about that. Today I'm not able to.
That's absolutely fine, Mataji. Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura says that a devotee does not care about his own happiness and distress. He is simply interested in seeking that Krishna is happy. For that purpose, he engages in various activities. A pure devotee has no way of sensing happiness except by seeing that Krishna is happy and is in every respect. If Krishna becomes happy by giving him distress, such a devotee accepts that unhappiness as the greatest of all happiness. Those who are materialistic, however, who are very proud of material wealth and have no spiritual knowledge, like the Prakrit Sahajivas, regards their own happiness as the aim of life. Some of them aspire to enjoy themselves by sharing the happiness of Krishna. This is mentality of fruitive workers who want to enjoy this satisfaction by making a show of service to Krishna. Fruitive workers. Sorry, Prabhuji. Last line I couldn't follow it, but we can. But I think it's the same thing that you kind of talking through people. So last line I couldn't understand. Really sorry.
So let's go step by step. The whole, agenda of material world is what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me, right? That's what the whole people are talking about. If I do this, what will I get? Right? That's the whole idea. Oh, if I do this job, how much salary will I get? Right? Everyone will ask that, and that's fine because it's a material, transaction. We do work, we get some salary, right? But in bhakti, it's like, what is in it for Krishna? Will Krishna be happy with this? Now, a devotee always thinks how this will please the Lord. But is the Lord kind, cruel, like a dictator who always wants, hey, all of you must work hard to please me? No, he's not like that. We take one step. If we are thinking for one moment about him, he's thinking millions of eons for us. He's always thinking of his devotee. If we are thinking for his happiness, right, he is thinking million times more for our happiness. If we are ready to do anything for him, he is million times more ready to do anything for us, right? Even in a normal, good relationship, we can see, and Krishna is our best friend, best mother, best father, best everything. Will he not think for his devotee? He's always thinking for his devotee. Even those who don't remember him, he still thinks of them. That is the idea. He still gives them sunlight, food, all the water. He does not cut off the supply. Hey, you're not thinking of me, I'll cut off your water, right? You have to pay sunlight bill. The government will do that. If you don't pay the bill, they'll cut the electric. But Krishna doesn't cut off the sunlight. He can, correct? Or he can just cause floods in that particular house. Those who don't remember Krishna, he can do that, right? He can do anything if he wants to, but he does not do. Because everyone is his child. But those children who think of him much more, Krishna thinks of them much more. That is the idea. If those who are ready to do anything for Kṛṣṇa without thinking of their personal interest, right? And not my personal distress. So even if I only want Kṛṣṇa's happiness, for that is the goal of my life. If he feels great happiness in giving, that's he will never feel happiness in giving us distress, right? It's basically apparent distress like Indra situation, right? But the idea is I can go to that extent also, the gopi bhav, right? Even if it cures Kṛṣṇa's headache, I'm willing to go to hell for that, right? That is the bhava here. That is the idea. Because that distress is my greatest happiness. Why? Because it's giving Kṛṣṇa's happiness. So bhakti means what is in it for Kṛṣṇa. And when because man is, like yasmin tushta jagat tushta. If Kṛṣṇa is happy, we'll always be happy. That is the idea. So in this theme today, we covered 2-3 verses. The idea is how we should take all these situations, circumstances, disturbances, ups and downs, and always try to remember Kṛṣṇa, and always try to think of his happiness first. And if we do that, he'll always protect us. He'll always be there. So we don't get distracted. We don't lose track of the spiritual goal, the spiritual success. Because Kṛṣṇa loves us a lot. He's very kind, caring, always thinking of us, always thinking. We should always remember Kṛṣṇa. What does Kṛṣṇa remember? Whom does Kṛṣṇa? Kṛṣṇa remember his devotees. Kṛṣṇa says, if you think of me, I am always thinking of you. I am in the heart of my devotees. My devotee has Kṛṣṇa in their heart. Kṛṣṇa has devotee in their heart. Devotee can do anything for Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa can do anything for his devotee. This is Kṛṣṇa's love. Very well. Any other thoughts, comments? Shridhar Prabhu joined, and Prabhu joined. Thank you. We are grateful for your association. You just joined in. I'm about to wrap up, so I was feeling a little bit how I should proceed. I'm a little in like a Brahma. So.
We have a meeting, Prabhuji.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. Is there a special occasion or something? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I can stop the recording. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I'll stop the live streaming. Thank you for the clarification.